I don't know how to do it. Anyway, okay, that's good. Let's do this. Um, I don't know. So which angle I'm trying to figure out. But anyway, I found myself today to pop up, and I don't know. Experiences come away and give me lots of questions and lots of uh, a hunger to understand why women are the majority are like susceptible for something. So my focus, I have a master in psychology, specialization in health psychology. So I study stress a lot. So and its impact on health and its correlation with chronic illness and then anxiety, depression, so on. So it is caring for the human being, the whole person. However, when you understand this whole person, it is not an easy formula. You have a tapestry, you have a matrices, you have matrices that integrate or intersect with multiple factors to understand why people do what they do and behave what they behave and think the way they think. But however, my focus on the subjective vulnerability, how the aggressors select their victim, how they say, and it struck me really, especially today. A friend shared that God saved her from a very dangerous situation today. Uh, and it's so funny that it is the player are women toward women. So that brought to me another, oh wow, another layer of why you think that many are susceptible to anxiety and depression, and sometimes they get paranoid, nobody believed them. So I wanted to pop up today because I when you understand the reality, it is a whole different scenario from what has been taught in school and what has been like experienced from family, from your close community, from for the people you know. So when betrayal comes from the people you know, it hurts a lot, but at least you know it, and you understand exactly who you are battling or who you are in contradiction in contradiction with. But when it comes from strangers and they don't look like they are a threat or anything, if you are don't have self-aware, if you are not aware exactly how to identify red flags, it can be very hazard, and no one will believe you. Because you are supposed to be an adult, you are supposed to be to understand, you are supposed to protect yourself, you are supposed to know how to defend or how to, but we don't put the complexity or the tapestry of the socioeconomic culture and geopolitical culture and age, language, level of education. Sometimes the aggressors, maybe they don't have the education at all, but their cunning behavior mask all things that the person that in school, oh, I got it all. No, you don't got it all. You got a glimpse of it. So when my friend today, she said, God saved me from a very dangerous situation today at the grocery store. And I am glad that I identified like couple of red flags. So I went with these two, because when the situation happened, you behave from the level of your training. You are not you don't have the manual, you don't have the guide. You learn as you go. You seek the knowledge, you seek to understand and to identify, because we are in age that your personal safety is your responsibility. So if we see like in criminal psychology, in business psychology, because business psychology, it has a lot of AI scams and fraud with trillions of dollars. So people use their knowledge to harm, and that is how they are designed. Cyber psychology, we see the bullying, we see we see all types of like the anonymous, the masking behind the screen. We don't know who we are dealing with. We have forensic psychology, they go with the evidence, they go with the attention, motives, the timing, space, and whatever on the scene or whatever presented on them as an evidence. In health psychology, we do perceived reality, perceived stress, perceived threat, and perceived pain. Within across culture, and across lifespan. So everybody is dealing with human behavior in a specific angle. But when we come together, we are going to see how the whole picture is presented, and to present like how the brain of the aggressor is working, and how now women are being used as a tool because they are perceived less stress or threat. So who you are going to trust? A woman like you. Who you are going to confide to? A woman like you. Who you are gonna like hang out with? A women like you. Okay, so that is perceived. But when it comes with betrayal, the harm doesn't know male or female. It happens, and especially it happens when you are at least expect. You are distracted, you are busy, you're not paying attention, you are alone. So they choose very my friend was parking like far end in a wide space. They select this space with the van higher, so nobody can block the scene, so if anything happened nobody will see it. So the spot was very strategic and very tactical. um the they choose the moment. My friend is very busy in uploading her grocery, and she is busy, but no space that she open the door and get in and go. No, she is even didn't see this an option to forward to her car door. They asked her to hand a card. You know, there's a famous scam right now. This card can be a drug substance, so they drug the victim, so they do whatever they want to do with the victim. So my friend noticed this, just a scan like mental, and she said, "I didn't know." I asked them to walk with me back to the grocery store, and I didn't interact with them any further. And um, she was like I say, it's God's protection over her life at this moment and at this day. But here we are in times there is no particular safety like in grocery stores and retails in like open places, public places. Right now, it is very scary. So particularly when you are distracted, when you are busy doing something, and when you are by yourself. So they choose now. The scenario was presented today that they applied all the red flag and the strategic tactical. So you are not like choosing a crowded area. You are not, no, you are choosing a far sighted area, no one, and the height of the van will block the scene for anything to happen behind this van. So it was very tactical, very, very tactical. So I prayed with her and I say, God wants you to learn from this moment that your safety, it is God's hand, and it is only your awareness of where you are, your surroundings, and what could possible, like, you have to be thankful, you have to be grateful, but you have to be aware and educate yourself more for situational awareness, for attention. Know thyself, understand your surroundings and who you are and what are you doing, and as much as you can, eliminate your distraction. I see many people walking with their cell phone head down. Like I say, that the person who is mostly distracted. Um, so I'm here today. So this is from my specialization. This is, I would like to understand how how the brain works at this time. How the brain, especially with threatening situations, with dangerous situations. How many women are being taught for that? How many girls? We are so trusty, we are open, we hang out, we celebrate. We are the fun of life, but we don't know that this fun of life somebody's waiting for to feed on. Yeah, that is their food, that is their energy finding, and they are in a constant 24/7 looking for a target, 24/7 looking for a target. They seek the opportunity, they study everything about their target, and they seek the opportunity that they are by themselves. So understand that threat exists. It can happen anytime, anywhere, and women now are being heavily used by the aggressor or the masterminds to seek the targets. Now, if a man pursue a target, so that will be like what's so obvious that, okay, don't follow me, so and so. So they are gonna bring the attention to them. They don't want that. So the mastermind doesn't want the attention to be dragged onto them. They would like to be behind the scene, watch the game, laugh at it, have the joy, and others are being driven to execute. So a language barrier and culture barrier is heavy in this subject. Language, level of education, and culture barriers are heavily in this area. We lack in that. We lived in cocoons since COVID-19. People isolated themselves. They don't know each other anymore, and thus this impacted the nervous circuitry in dealing with the stress and isolation, because isolation, it brings heavy impact on the brain and the perception of reality and the perceived threat and stress. So it changes the dynamic, how people like see each other, how they interact with each other. It broke down the norm. It broke down the norm. that I am living in whatever is going through the day. Now, no, we are more isolated. We are more not aware of what could happen in this isolation out of our comfort zone. So the situational awareness and self-awareness started to bring clusters of groups who has the same interest together, and they execute whatever agenda they are doing together, but in isolation with that community and with the isolation of the people who once was outgoing and having the fun of life, and people can be like around each other. Now it's hardly to see that, and if you see it, you're going to see it like a high security areas. So the security is taken into specific places, but it was drawn from specific places that are seen less susceptibility. However, we don't know the mind of the aggressor. They are looking for these places that are less susceptible. Because when you earn confidence, when like I was said early, I was that is like my old culture, like in the military. When it is quiet and calm, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Yes, even animals know that when there is danger, everything goes. So when it is gets calm and quiet, don't get comfortable. This is one of the things, like one of the things that were told for us early in days, but I didn't fully understand it. But I understand it, and now I am aware of when everything is quiet. Oh, don't get comfortable. So I am completing this is an opportunity, a window of opportunity, that aggression and cunning behavior. And women are being used now. So my friend now, she was in the parking lot, was approached by two ladies. They are in late 20s or mid 30s, and it was a life threatening situation. It was a life threatening situation. So we have to understand, sometimes it's real, but what the indicators have been presented, it presented multiple factors of red flags. Is it, am I safe or not? So questioning your safety is important. Questioning that, okay, when you approach, like, it is recommended that when you approach any situation, you don't approach it alone. And that is you don't approach it alone. You have to have a team, you have to work together, you have to understand exactly the nature of the situation you are putting yourself into, and you do it together. And at the same time, that is the same tactic the aggressor is using. So we didn't differentiate now the good and the bad. We don't know now the good and the bad, unless something like along the way came and presented us with fact that this is not dangerous, that this was okay. But do you have the capacity? Do you have the tools? Do you have the team? Do you have all of that? This is a whole different scenario of behaviors and executions. So I'm coming in today so to understand we are now at times when your safety, that is your personal responsibility. You have to educate yourself. You have to be aware. You have to seek the guidance from those who know exactly the tools, the education, the growth mindset of how to empower subjective vulnerable or women in general or females in general to understand red flags and how to stay calm and collective, and at the same time you understand the situation you are in and you do the best you can with with whatever you have at this moment. So we would like to understand that because it's a critical moment. We don't know what is going on unless some evidence or some signs, as we say, a thread that can lead to something it is off. And when something you feel it's off, trust your God. It is not your God. You say, trust your God. Yes, trust it. When you are presented with multiple red flags and they are clusters, you are looking for clusters. What's happening in front of you and where you are at, and you understand the situation awareness. It was really cool that um, to collect this cluster in just a few seconds and understand the nature of the situation. But we would like to know exactly what we should do as women, as females, when we are approached with in situation that it feels uncomfortable. What we should do, and who we can ask for help, and how can we feel that we are supported, we are empowered, we are totally into saving lives, we are into protecting lives, and we are defending the freedom of the land. So how we know that it is your constitutional rights to be safe and protected. It's your right in life. And so how can you increase your knowledge in that? I don't know. I found myself like looking at some of the behaviors that can sound for you like highly alert and um how to identify like the unusual behaviors, so that is doesn't look normal. Um, how the person is wearing, the talk, their facial expression, their walk, what doesn't match, what doesn't click in the scene. Something doesn't click in the scene. So you have to understand, okay, I feel something doesn't click here. And at the same time, I don't feel this is a safe situation. So what you should do, so some of the unusual behaviors, they approach you quickly or get too close, or like they seem overly insistent for something. They sometimes they block your path or position themselves on either sides of you. As I said, my friend, she doesn't see that even going into her car door is a safe approach to proceed. So she was frozen and talking from a distance to the ladies. So they seem scripted, rehearsed, and their story. Yeah, there is something in the story. Something doesn't click. They seek the person who is distracted, like. So they are looking for the distracted person. They are either busy with something they do, with their belongings or their surroundings. They're not paying attention to where they are. Uh, so they use emotions as a key or a drawer that to get the attention. So emotional brain, activating the emotional brain, what they are going to feel: shame, guilt, and fear. Shame, guilt, and fear will be. So the amygdala is going to be high alert, the heart rate variability is going to get high, spikes, your breathing will be like you are not gonna, so it's triggering a high stress response, and this impacted the immune system, and this will lead to the first the natural case of anxiety, feeling anxious, feeling it's, and this increasing cortisol and adrenaline, and that is blocking the prefrontal cortex. So when you are in danger, this is the survival brain, so it's activating the adrenaline and the cortisol, so blocking the prefrontal cortex, and that is lack of clarity, attention, lack of clarity and attention, and decision making. So the person is acting from the level of their training. So if they are even in walk with you in the store, you don't walk with them in the store. choose a spot Choose a spot, identify, acknowledge, and let somebody know that you're not safe. So as I said, like yeah, my friend did. She stood like at a distance, like you say, recommended 6 to 10 feet away from the whoever you don't feel comfortable in the situation. Um, as far as possible, if it is safe, just get in and uh, don't talk. But my friend didn't do that because of her evaluation to the situation. It wasn't an option. So stay aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye in both the individual and the environment. Don't lose track of anything. uh, And my friend noticed that the other lady, she is hitting the opposite side as if there is another car is waiting for them or something waiting for them. So because of she is keeping going on this direction, the whole situation, and looking at this situation, doing body movement with her body that she's not happy with what going on, or there is uh, the plan didn't go as it is expected. uh, be aware to, like, if anyone in you in any direction, or anyone is approaching you, be aware of that. And we see more now, we understand why when you see a person is very reserved and very like to themselves, and they are not responding to everybody is trying to approach them, that is self-respect, that is the self-awareness. They understand the situational awareness. Not everyone, they identify if it is their personal stand not to answer and move on. That is a self-awareness, that is self-respect. We have to respect that, and this is part of the culture. They are not mean, or they are not like ignoring or something, but we have to take this part of the equation of our safety culture, that if somebody their response for you is to just move on and don't answer the question, that is self-respect and self-awareness, and that is normal. We have to normalize it. But however, if the person is a very in high threat situation, you have to look for somebody that is already in the place, is trained for these situations. So you have to approach them as soon as possible once you get to their spot. uh, I understand now. So why people behave this way. So I am more aware of why, and don't expect everybody to be your friend and to be like. If you see this, it can be a red flag as well. Like somebody who just would like to jump in right away. And break the personal space and break the boundaries, and that is a red flag. You have to find your safer place. You have to say, yeah, if you are isolated in as I said, the scene was blocked by the height of the van, and nobody can see what's happening behind it. So that is a very risky, threatening situation. So you have to go to the scene area. You have to go to a crowded area that everybody can see you till you see exactly what is the intention, or notify somebody just to navigate the situation together. But somebody is trained for this, and there are in every store, every retail and everything, you understand who to go to. So it, so some of the some of the something like, if you would like to move on, I am sorry, I can help, please. Yeah, talk to the security inside, for example, I sorry, I don't have this, or I cannot do this. You can speak to anyone in the store. My friend didn't understand. She said, I am not comfortable with this. So take care and leave and walk away." So you can identify right away, or yeah. So everybody, my friend, she acted from her level of training and understanding, and tried to keep the dignity and integrity of the situation and moving on. So again, avoid distractions like the phone or bags while walking. Just uh, be aware, be like, pay attention to where you are, your steps, where you are heading to, and train your brain for action plan over and over and over, and the brain will get it. Once over time will get it. So if they appear suddenly, and seems like pop up of nowhere, they just like, ooh, in your face like this, um, like what happened today. So just between the cars. So try. As I said, the approach at night or low traffic area. Yeah, it was like the far end of the parking, and nothing, not too much going on in this area. So it's a perfect spot. So now you understand how they select their targets. It's isolated from everything, and the blockage of the scene with the height of the van, so nobody can see what's going around behind it. And that to see like be aware of your surrounding, because I have my friend. She is like she's a second, like every year she is in high threat situations. Like she would like to know why, but I asked her, don't know why. Learn learn from the experience, and try to identify the red flags as much as you can, and surround yourself with good people that will navigate with you these threats. So they either move too close or too fast. Yeah, like there is no like yeah, like less than 3 feet. So they are ready to attack. Um, and that is the splitting. So someone like they are not close together all the time, they are splitting, like they have common tactics to corner or disorient the person. So they are using distraction of the movement. So that will add tension to the situation as well. So they are mobilizing that and they come, they mobilize and they come. So that leads to heightened stress as well, and more cortisol and adrenaline, and then more high threat, and the perceived response will be higher. They position themselves, like if they can reach you, they know exactly what to do next. Like she tried to hand my friend a card. They don't know what this card carrying or they are using in it. And notice that they are using holding the card from the tip of it is not only fully in the hand. So that is a red flag. Uh, to see here, so one is doing all the talking and the other one is lingering and looks around and moves behind and toward, like one is distracting with the conversation and other is evaluating the situation, and they understand it. Safe or not safe for this, for the next action. So there is organized, they're organized, they work in teams, they work together, they are highly coordinated. So they have more loyalty to themselves than to others, to the other world, because they are the tribal survivor. So their loyalty and their attention is to increase, is to protect their tribe, but everybody else is the enemy and is out there, is out, they are there out there to break a piece of them. So their loyalty, their contribution is their tribal, the survival of their tribal. So everything like from niceness to cruelty is allowed. So there is no, that's when we say for the tribal survival, we look for the blueprint within the tribe. Look for the what gather them for survival, or the dynamic that want them to increase their influence, their power, their authority, their resources, everything like that. Everything and any tool they can use, they can do it. So there is no moral compass. There is a niceness in the face, but the intentions is highly destructive and disruptive. So they are looking at the friendly face. They say, look at you at the friendly face, and if you are not aware, so then you are a perfect target for them, and they can do whatever they intended to do. And when the intentions is really bad like this, when the opportunity is good for them, the damage will be harder for the vulnerable or the target. And that is reality we live in. We don't wish it on anybody or anyone, but unfortunately, some and I said 62% of women. So how it happens? It happens when it is least expected. When it is least expected, when you are most distracted, or when you are when it is more quiet, when it gets super quiet, don't get comfortable. And this is one of the things I'd like to like repeat every time. When it gets too quiet, don't get comfortable. Even animals knows that when danger is coming, they are quiet. So so I said one is distracting by words and the other navigating the situation around. And if they have Another mostly man is be in the other car in a different direction, is waiting for them to execute and ready for the target to strike upon. So if this doesn't happen, so the other one is moving, she has to give the signal to the other, so even to leave the scene or something different. Depends on the scenario they are planning for. So, unfortunately, life is not like a rosy land. It is, it filled with lessons and lessons to be learned and not easy ones. Um, uh, something as well, if you notice that, and I say they distract by trying to redirect the target to something unrelated, like drop the item or emergency case or a need or something. That my friend today, they were trying to hand her an index card with words on it. So that is a red flag. That is a red flag. The I think like the other, during the COVID, there was a scam of a child crying at the doorsteps of the household. That is one of the scams, and targeting specific neighborhoods, was leaving a baby crying at the doorsteps. So, what do you think when you hear a baby cry at the doorsteps? So, of course, using the emotional brain, using the emotional brain means fear, shame, guilt. You're going to feel guilty that you're not opening the door and saving the child. But once you open the door, and that what the aggressor is waiting for, so they are using even babies in their scams. So you never know what they can pretend that they are going to be the utility worker that going to fix something in your house, but they are studying the environment to understand exactly what is inside, and this is another of their plan. um, they have a lots of smart tactics, and they have a lot. They are beyond, and they look nice, gentle, but the language barrier is the forefront. If you would like to understand things, they're gonna look at you and speak with their own language or speak a broken English, and then they don't fully understand, but you understand that they are inside for something, and they understand what is the household, the exits, the what are the flows, the breaking points, the nature of the household, and everything like that. So it's a whole different different school of criminal business, cyber forensic, and health psychology. It's a whole different world, a whole different world. And the sometimes somebody with influence can use these guys to break down somebody, to bring harm to somebody. They don't like them to show up in the world or the community or anything like that. So you never know. We understand that from psychology, we understand the human nature completely different, completely different. That's why when I say wait for a year or two to understand exactly who are you dealing with, who and what situation you are facing, and the decision in you is you. And if you decide to it's God, only God is the protector, only God is the protector. Nobody will protect. It's only God is the protector. So if we put him, the almighty, the sovereign of the heaven and earth, and how he's carrying us is how you what you carry will show up. So we are now in very very unpredictable world, not in the 70s or 60s or 80s or every era. So I said I am in my sixth decade. So I learned, I lived the Cold War, all of it. I was raised in a defense area. I saw the, but it was religious and political conflict. So the things that till I am in my 40s uh, were geopolitical, religious, and things like that. So I am ingrained in this. I saw how these scenarios unfold and how they are played and what type of a strategic planning is being used. But I haven't been exposed to the other side, the other dark side of the human till late in 40s, late late 30s, 40s, and 50s. Yes, that is where um I started to see the whole world with a whole different perspective. A whole different perspective. It is not your kindness, it is your not your compassion, it is not your empathy. That is what the aggressor is looking for to take advantage of and use for their own advantage at many levels. But if you are not aware, it's going to happen year after year after year, and you're going to like, you are the one who's going to pay the price unless you are opening your eyes. As I mentioned before, I don't ask anyone to go back to school and do all this grand study of the human behavior, nature, cross culture, and all of that. That was a mission that I decided that chronic illness and psychiatric conditions are social justice issue. It's a social disease. It is not only genetic or the person is this way, so they are. It is a social disease. It is a social justice issue. And it goes into like the tribal survive mechanisms. If you understand what we are in undeclared state of wars, that it is fighting over resources, fighting over life, fighting over like authority, power, influence, all of that. The reptilian mammalian brain is still activating the tribal survival, and hardly we are paying attention to the human brain. When we elevate the human condition and we can thrive together and we can grow together and we can strengthen each other, that is only healthy communities understand this mechanism and they promote it and wholeheartedly living this method. But you go back out of this, you have to deal with multiple things, the good and the bad and ugly. But how you are prepared for the good and the bad and ugly, that it depends on your window of tolerance, self-awareness, and increase your increase your willingness to be open to understand the red flags. If you take one behavior and you started to focus and you reflect on it, maybe last year, maybe 10 years before, and you analyze the situation, red flags is going to pop up because they are shaping a pattern. Over time, they are shaping a pattern and they are impacting your state of health, your relationships, your connectedness with anyone and everyone, and your life outcomes. It impacts your life outcomes. It is not only a simple thing. It changes you molecularly. So it changes you molecularly. Some people are really scholarly, they dedicated to study these phenomena. Some in between, they would like to keep the modern life, the checklist classification of successful person. So they would like to do that. Others are fighting and living from the survival mode and are dealing with this subtle behaviors of aggression. It can pop up in any situations, in any place, and when you are least it where it least expected, and least expected for the target. They don't understand that, oh, it's a safe place, it's a quiet place, it's an open place, nobody there. No, the aggressor is looking for that. This is where they can take advantage of the solo scene, that they understand really, because they didn't do this one time. That is 24/7 they are looking for the target. And right now, modern life equipped people with lots of technologies, what lots of means that they masking everything. So you didn't know who is who and what is what. So anyway, imagining the worst scenario, that is for your protection. Training, I said, families are not trained to their children, we are not infusing fear. We are training that, okay, we are here, different personalities, different intentions, different cultures, different motives, different agendas, and all of that. What if scenarios? Are we training our children and young adults on these scenarios, and to be aware? Few are trained, but is the majority are aware or are being trained? That is the question I am questioning a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. It is not the well intention, it is not your empathy, it is not your compassion, it is not your kindness. It is the tools for the aggressor that they are feeding on. Um, uh, Having appreciating this nature of compassion, kindness, empathy, and well intention, and all of that, the law doesn't match that. We don't have laws that say he is compassionate, so he did this or that. No, we don't have that. Nothing will protect you if the harm is done and you are not fully aware. Nothing will take out of your responsibility that you are not aware. So are we like as I stated before, the perceived or the assumptions, that the heuristic assumptions that everybody knows, if I know, everybody knows, or the bystander phenomenon. So all of this, if I know, if I somebody else will do it, or I didn't do it, somebody else will do it. If I don't defend so and so, or if I didn't acknowledge somebody. We have another thing that can be counterfeit or counteract your intentions. If you see something, say something, it can harm you. It's not used for your protection, or you are defending something. So we have a double standard now. We have a double sort of everything, that we exactly to identify a framework of empowering females in safety, in self-defense. So, but it is not only the physical defense that can be as well, but it is the mind games of the mastermind of the aggressor. So what they are looking for to attack first, the mind. When they got the mind, it's easy to control the body. So increase or perceived threat, it will increase cortisol, it will increase adrenaline, it will block the prefrontal cortex, it will block the clarity, the attention, the decision making, the understanding and action taking. It will block all of that, so it can allow for more susceptibility for the target to be harmed. But we are your brain is a muscle. It can be trained as you are training your whole body muscles. You can train your body muscle as well. So it is not only what and they are looking for why it's not looking for like somebody is well built 6 feet or something. They are looking for, yeah, somebody to handle. And the more they can handle physically and distraction and increasing the blockage of clarity and decision making at this moment, that is more powerful than the physical that will attract more attention to them. So they are gonna say, oh, look at me, I am the aggressor. So it's now the unfortunately they are smarter than you. Yes, I have to say that they are smarter. They are highly intelligent, but in a good in a sorry in a bad way. It's not in a good way. It's not in a good way, in a highly bad way. And the harm is subtle, and no one will defend you and no one will protect you. So that is a personal stand for me. You never get the why, but you understand that how God is the sovereign over everything, and He is the more powerful, and He is mighty more than anything. How to standing in God, how to strengthen the will of God in breaking the odds with knowing who is dwelling inside of you, and what you would like to do in life, that is God's purpose and God's fulfillment for his children, that everyone has a purpose. Everyone, he didn't, but it's a choice for humans either to go left or right, or mixed ways, or to confuse others for different motives. Uh, so and I said they are using the emotional brain. The emotional brain is what activates this sense of guilt. And if you don't feel comfortable, it will activate the cortisol and adrenaline and will block the prefrontal cortex. And this is the person is more susceptible for taking advantage of. Their story is vague, inconsistent, or changes. If you would like to ask questions, it depends on the situation, but don't stay too long in this situation. Find your exit as possible, as far as you can. Uh, so um, so yeah. Um, Other thing is they can approach multiple people, but however, it depends on the situation. Another thing, the way they wear their technology. As I said, my friend described the situation. They are not at the level of what they claim. They are not at the level of what they claim. So uh, this is another red flag. So evaluate. So I said the facial expression, the way they wear, the way you talk, um, uh, the car they drive, and the cell phones and the gadgets that they are using and they are having in their hand, and how they are approaching the person, all that. But it takes practice. It takes practice. Yes. So what we're supposed to be like, to be cautious, and you're not supposed to help it. So what my friend um, again experienced a type of resale scams. So they ask you to buy something, and then they go back and sell it. So that is another scam of yeah, scamming people. So yeah, she did it again today, and that is, she was aware of it, but she didn't know what to say or what to do at this time. So your safety comes first, and I say, understand that the whole situation, and you don't have to be in a situation to study it all, but you have to understand exactly that no one is prone to teach you every step on the way. So why women, mostly women, are being used for this type of scams? Social conditioning, like women are less perceived less threatening, leads to many people, especially women like them, to perceive other women less dangerous than men. This lowers the guard and makes them more likely to stop and talk, trust what is being said, allow closer physical proximity. So this is a type of exploitation, and they create false safety of sense, safety of sense of safety. So this is type is as well. So women to women are more to be an easy target. Um, so women may share similar lived experience, safety concerns, for example, emotional trigger, compassion, community responsibility. Female targets are more likely to empathize with other women, especially if children or hardships are involved. Um, at the same time, when my friend at this situation, and she is already addressed the situation, uh, no one say this is what, and no, it's your own responsibility. You are in this by yourself. um So it is easier for a woman to ask another woman for help with something emotional charged, like other items to purchase. When they work together, so one is doing the talking and the goal of the talk, and other is distracting the to distract the target, lure the target toward another location, or get close to the target without setting off alarm bells or anything. Meanwhile, like a male compliance or group may be nearby waiting to execute a higher a high more dangerous scenario that they are plotting onto. Victims, like they see, like they feel like so, yeah, so the majority don't are not able to say no due to social pressure not to be rude, guilt of rejecting someone in need, afraid of being judged or ignoring another woman. um in that that women are being seen like harmless or regular. They are well dressed, or they are speak calmly or emotionally. So that is normal. That is the tone women to women are using. Anyone so Steps to carry forward: recognize anyone, regardless of gender, can be involved in deceptive or dangerous behavior. Don't let perceived harmlessness override your instinct or awareness. Set firm boundaries. You may be polite or protective of yourself. So my friend was polite, and she just wanted to get out of the situation safe as much as she can. Uh, so they are very highly smart and emotionally intelligent. Um, they have this combination of practical and just they have this guilt guide and to infuse into their target. um, for you, just maintain your safety and keep increasing your awareness in this high threatening situations. Respond respectfully but firmly. Avoid guilt or emotional manipulation. Exit the situation quickly and calmly. uh, so um, Staying calm is important in these situations. And find your exit. Find your exit. What my friend noticed, that the other lady is very worried and she's going in a specific direction. So it sounds like another car was waiting for them. Um, so if you can say, I feel uncomfortable and I have to go, or I feel comfortable and go right away, do that. Do that. Don't hesitate and do it. If you can, if you feel that you are in a safe spot, get into your car, Sorry, I can help do that as well. Find your exit. That is the number one for your safety. Identify what you are, how threatening, and find your exit right away. Don't stay in isolation or the scene that is really highly susceptible for a severe harm could happen. Make yourself seen and known and seen by others. So move quickly from the aggressor and from the spot that you are in. Move quickly and make yourself seen for everyone, so you are not in isolation. They are so smart to choose their target. They are so smart. Avoid emotional reactions. Stay composed, calm, and find your exit. Find your safety exit. If you could join a group that already are specialized in this, in uh, empowering women and identify the red flags and the impact on the neurobiology over time, and understand how why women are being more highly now in the scene of targeting women. Understand that they are perceived less threat, and they are using the emotional brain. So this emotional brain is triggering shame and guilt and fear. So be aware of the intentions and motives of these, and they are not alone. If women like you are discomfortable of situations, women approaching you, the male figure on the other side in the other car and waiting for them to execute their plan, and then nobody. And we see, you see in the newsletters, you see in the announcement, in the authority, you see it in the media and social media, this action is happening. But how can you increase the awareness of the staffing of the stores. Parking lots of the stores shouldn't be like left for clients only or visitors only. There has to be security on the parking lot 24/7. There has to be there has to be training for identifying the more susceptible, identifying, like, if somebody approach you to the store and say I am not safe, what you can do next without any, like, paying attention or attracting attention of the other, to make everything like flow. And because this as well can bring fear to the public when they hear something like that. It harm the retail. It harm because people will not be like afraid to go to this place because they are susceptible that this will happen, and this will impact the vendor of the business as well. So it's not only the human life is at threat, the business reputation is at threat. It will can lead escalation to multiple other things. People are not perceived that they are credible or reliable when they claim something, because you haven't addressed it properly. So the right training, how right now, it's not only a safety issue, it's a security issue. It is a culture issue. It is public health issue. Why? Because it's impacting multiple areas of the whole human or whole person approach of quality of life, healthy people, safe neighborhoods, It tackle everything. It's it bring the confidence between bring the confidence or trust between those who are responsible for the protection of the public and the people. Why individual cases is still occurring, even it is individual cases, it's impacting the overall community, because it's like a sort of like who you present, where you live, is it safe? Because right now in every neighborhood you see the rate of crime. If you would like to move to any neighborhood, you are gonna google the rates of crime in this neighborhood, and what most crimes are common in this area. So this, with technology now, this information is being, but at the same time it can be food for these predators to live on. Oh, this happened a lot in this area, so we are gonna go this there because it is happening. If it keeps happening, that means there is no awareness enough to tackle these issues. So how to train your staff to 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 handle this, how to make safe your parking lot is not is not free for a scene like this to take place. How you start your community to start to be aware of the red flags, from adolescents, young adults, old adults, all cultures, how to identify these flags. Because right now I notice is the level of education, gender, and language. Languages can be like, oh, they don't they are struggling, so I have to help. They are struggling, so I have to help. But if this is being, and ask why they choose you other than 100% in the store. Your level of distraction, your attention, and your features. You are by yourself and you are in isolated area, you are in the in the outlier of the parking lot, no one is there, no one is moving, or no one is coming this, and the height of the van of their van was higher than the other targeting person, so nobody will see what is happening behind the car. The so close that you cannot open the car and go, there's something is gonna happen next. So all of these are tactical. The other person is moving back and forth to the other side. This means that somebody else, and mostly the male, is waiting for them so uh, they can do what they want to do and finish their tasking and go, and this area, whole area is free, and then they leave the victim by themselves, and then the scene, and then the media, and then the so and so and so and so. So we are not new to for this scene. We read it. We we didn't know exactly how can we protect ourselves, but we do our best with whatever we have, whatever we know, whenever we can and wherever we can. Um, it's not an easy task, and in God we trust. And that's what I'm saying every single day. In God we trust. In God we trust. This is not a whistleblower. That is a reality, and that is an experience, and that was a true situation. Uh, and anyone is susceptible for that. But how not every woman in any culture, not every woman is being protected, respected, or been educated exactly how to show up in the world, how to show up in the world. We want to serve, we want to do everything, but how we are protected, how we are perceived, it's a different scenario. And it can change the trajectory of the human overnight. So we would like to, I'd like to stress this more. This is another cunning behavior of aggression. It's cunning. It is masked with politeness, niceness, and emotional brain activation, and stressing on the fear, guilt, and shame. So, do they study neuroscience? No, but they understand what works. They understand how to get their target into buying into their baits. Uh, I learned it today. There is more to learn in life, and um, no matter what you know, there's still more to the dark to trod to learn from. You breathe. So, do I see everybody the same right now? Nope. Nope. Do I understand that everybody's equal? Nope. Do I experience this freedom? Nope. That is why more strongly I go back to the phrase "in God we trust." What does it mean? In God we trust. That is a huge responsibility. When we understand that this phrase is small, in God we trust. It is resembled to we are the people, but who we are, it's a different scenario. But in God we trust. He was and is and will. He will never change. His word is steady. His word is steady. But however, we understand that we are in an era that's unpredictable. So we have to be more aware than ever before. Um, I don't want to study all these types of psychology and its impact on the neurobiology of human life, but I know you understand that if you see anybody with chronic illness, I say, thank you for bearing all of this. And your body now is manifesting the condition. This means your body had enough of unwanted behaviors. Unwanted behaviors. It's a responsibility. It takes years to be aware if you want to, especially those who are subjective vulnerable, especially who are being over and over targeted and uh, scamming either online or in life. It is $1 trillion industry. Trillions. I didn't know one of the agents say like 30 trillion. Like I don't know. I don't remember the number, but yeah, over $10 trillion. $1 trillion. That is a whole economy. That is a whole economy is like getting the life of those who have no fault in anything. But unfortunately, the aggressor doesn't know. What they know is what they want to do and project onto. All what they do is that they don't look at humanity, they don't look at empathy, compassion, whatever they see. These words are a joke for them. They are a joke. They are heartless, and they are cognitively intelligent because they think a lot about their schemas and their tactics. And be aware, women now are being used more than ever. Women and teenagers are being used more than ever to target the subject of vulnerable, and that is perceived less threat in the talking to the emotional brain, taking advantage of whatever distraction you were taking your attention of coherence and awareness and attention. And this is part of the aggression and cunning behavior and scams. It can my today was resale scam. Resale scam can I think it's another crisis we are going through. Um, Understand that there are many routes. There are many routes. We see there are many organizations in the community that helping people and are willing to take, but still some choose a specific route to walk to. Another thing, why mostly women, children, and females in general. Why? We have to stress on that. Why females are being put in these situations, either aggressor or the target. Why women? For my experience, majority women. I don't know, you guys, about you, but the male figure is behind the scenes, so you cannot see them. And if you see them, you cannot identify them because they are far away. Yeah, looking from far, waiting for the scenario to be completed. In God we trust once again, and I don't know. That is what I want to bring to aggression and cunning behavior today, and understand some of the culture dynamics are taking place. It is socioeconomic, it's geopolitical, it is more than we think, and we would like to bring awareness to that. There is the good and bad and ugly, but how we can face it, how we can handle it, how we can protect. So there is an oath to protect. There is a word that in God we trust. There is a whole different publicity of wonderful, cool words. But however, still others select to harm. So we are raising awareness for that. So identify, acknowledge, observe, validate. Don't put yourself down. Know that it's a learning progress. You are activating from your level of training. So the more there will be a training for the neuromuscle, the more you will to pay attention to the red flags, the more you're going to be aware, and the more your awareness will be, you're going to bring this to others to do part of this to protect. In God we trust. In God we trust. So never estimate small things. Even your compassion, your kindness, your empathy is being mobbed and laughed at. Have compassion on yourself first. First, be kind to yourself first. And I understand that you learn from each experience and you identify multiple things. You identify multiple things, even you don't fully 100%. You acted like the superhero, the super intelligent in the situation, but you still the dummy. You're still learning and you're still going. So in God we trust. That is all I want to do right now, and I want to remind myself, in God we trust. Peace.